Well, hey, that's exciting stuff. That looks really good.
Oh, the new video? You like that?
Oh my God. Well, I love the sponsoring there of Evardy Construction and the drinks. I think Chris Evans and Brian Hardy would be pretty happy with that.
I know. I'm so excited. Yeah, we got all brand new assets. Guess what's going on outside my window right now? This is kind of funny.
I
I
don't know.
feel
Do I need to get
bad.
my camera out? I need to get my camera out. What's
I
going
feel
on?
bad because I feel bad for them, but it's also kind of funny. There's an Amazon truck stuck in the snow in my cul-de-sac.
Oh
They're
no.
huge too. I don't know how they're going to get it out. So a second Amazon truck came to, not a tow truck, a second Amazon truck came to help. So I'm about to send my 18-year-old to go help with the shovel. This is crazy.
Erin lives in a beautiful neighborhood, but her cul-de-sac, if you know, it's a tough little cul-de-sac. And so I just always feel bad because I feel like Amazon gets a bad rap, but man, they work hard.
They're hard. Well, why are they delivering today? They shouldn't be delivering. I don't feel like they should be delivering.
I know.
Listen, one of our guests is not in this tundra today. He's from Kansas City, but he's not here. And I've been incredibly jealous. But how has your Snowmageddon been going?
Well, I am very thankful for what I do for a living, but I've just a lot of time with the kids. My daughter and I took one of her friends to get their nails done. Then we took them to play a little pickleball, but just a lot of time, a lot of snow forts, a lot of sledding. So enjoying the time. What about yourself? You got to, it's gonna be hard with the kids at home.
Yeah, I wish, only on my worst enemy would I wish that they get stuck in a house for 5 days with 2 teenagers when nobody can leave. Not even take a walk.
Yeah, when I was texting you, I was like, "Oh, whoa, your kids are going to be," and they're at an age where they want to be with their friends and they're really outgoing. So that's a tough deal.
We are lucky that we have like a lot of room and space and FaceTime and video games you can play with your friends, right? From different houses now. So like, I think we're really lucky that it's 2025 and this is going on. But yeah, it's still a lot. I did order, I feel really bad. I tipped the person a lot of money, but I did finally have to order groceries today because I thought for sure I bought enough and it didn't. I did not buy enough. So we're going to get more groceries today because we have eaten everything in this house because teenagers like to eat a lot. So
yeah, for those of you, if this show gets time stamped, Kansas City got dumped with 10 inches of snow. But the good news is Evardy Construction, all of their buildings are safe, sound, and insulated.
Yes. So look, here is Paul. First show, we always ask you every single show. This is the first show of the year, but every single show we ask you, are you watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube? And Paul has been consistently coming in for about 2 years with jokes, watching from the passenger seat of a huge snowplow.
Yeah, so he loves Ham's beer, and so we need to start, compensating him because he's a writer for our show. He writes our jokes, right?
He tries, yeah. Well, I'm super excited about our guest today. I'm more excited because Evardy has decided to stay on as a sponsor for this whole year as well. And so they are doing some amazing things. We are going to get to tell you guys a lot more about them this year. So we're super excited about that. They're just really good guys, and I love working with them.
It's funny. It's like anyone that hangs out with them are just super kind, super nice, super friendly. It could be a beer or it could be a coffee, but it's always a good time and plenty of fun.
We got two amazing guests today. One you and I just met. The other one's a great friend of mine. We were in Scale Up together a long time ago. So I've watched him grow his business to, well, I'm going to let him tell you, but let's just say he walked away with learning really good lessons. Because I'm over here still learning the lessons. He just reminded me. So awesome. Well, let's bring everyone in. I know it's a new year, and I know I've changed a lot of things. And one of the things that has not made it to my to-do list yet is this terrible music you love so much.
I knew you'd forget. I knew it.
I didn't forget. I just haven't had time. So we're going to bring our guests with this, and then we're going to go from there. Let us know if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn. Here we go. I hate it. All right. Our first guest today is Chris and Connor. Worst music in all of live shows.
Yeah, just a Johns County white frat guy's dream, you know?
All right, Chris. Who are you? What do you do? And how do you get to Kansas City? And you can tell them where you are right now so we can all be jealous.
I'm actually a lifelong resident of Kansas City. I'm the CEO of FinOps Oversight, but I do spend half my year now down in Florida, which is sunny and 70 today. So apologize to the people in Kansas City for the snow. So one thing I love about Kansas City is just like the entrepreneurial spirit, probably, with Ewing Kaufman, starting out with Ewing Kaufman. And then as Aaron mentioned, we were lucky enough to go through the Scale Up program. And for me, it's just kind of started when I was 10 with my twin brother. We started a paper out at 10. We used the funds from that to start a bicycle shop at 13 in our parents' basement, and then did that till we were 14, 15. Then we started buying and selling cars all the way through high school and college. And then after college, I started a trading card company for race car drivers, so they could sign and pass out to their fan base and to help promote their sponsors. So I think, the Kansas City residents and just Kansas City in general is very welcoming to the entrepreneur spirit. And I think by starting at such a young age and learning to talk to people and learning to sell, through the different, projects that I've had, over the years, that it's allowed me to be, to take it to the national level. And then we've actually been fortunate enough to make the 5,000 list for the past 7 years of the fastest 5,000 growing private companies in the U.S. the past 7 years. So really proud of that. But I think it all has to do, going back to starting at 10 and throwing papers and, having rapport with people and, and then taking those funds and then, increasing it where you can make additional revenue. So I think a lot of that's played a part into helping, me continue to grow and expand the business on this side.
Chris, going from Big Blue and IBM to running your company, almost celebrating 5 years, what does an ideal client look like for you?
An ideal customer for us now is somebody that has a spend of $25,000 a month in either AWS, Azure, or Google spend. And if they have that, we have a savings analysis assessment that we can do that can help provide significant savings on their monthly cloud spend.
Nice.
Aaron, I jumped the question because I want to ask the ideal question or what an ideal client looks like, and you smashed it. So it looks like Scale Up is really killing it with what they want to do. So I guess the takeaway is, what did you and Aaron learn in Scale Up together?
We learned a lot. I mean, I encourage everybody to go out and go to the KC page and try to, they have, I think, yearly or bi-yearly KC Scale Up programs. So if you are starting a business, and the biggest part of it was, scale up. So what are you going to be doing in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? And I think, I don't know if I went to 7, but I've actually met all of our goals that we did in scale up. So I think it gives you that parameters to help make sure you kind of a guideline to that 5-year mark. So
he's been killing it. He's actually probably one of the biggest stories out of Scale Up, and I don't know why we don't hear more about him in Kansas City, because they've been, I mean, that's huge to be on that list one time, much less year after year after year. I one time heard someone tell me it's hard to make that list after the second year you're on it, because you have to go from the year before, right? It's always from the year before. So to do it that many times in a row is insane, Chris.
Yeah, we probably won't make it next year because because of the jump that you do have to do, the increase. So, but it's been a good 7-year run, so we're very proud of it.
Because it's on percentages. Awesome. It's crazy. Awesome. All right, Connor, who are you? What do you do? And how do you get to Kansas City?
Cool. Hi, everyone. My name's Connor Borrego. I'm originally from the Metro Detroit area. I moved to Kansas City a little over 2 years ago. My background is in advertising management and data science. I've worked in the ad tech space for the last 10 years. The height of my career was working at Google as their product expert in automated advertising management. So mostly I worked with startups that have raised between $500,000 to $50 million to build data warehouses for them in order to automate media buying on Google Ads for them. It's also what the business I'm into now, except for at that time I was also interested in Web3 technologies, and I saw the opportunity to solve the first-party cookie problem by building on the new data infrastructure that's emerging in the Web3 space to leverage NFTs and smart contracts to allow basically business owners to own and license their data to AI models and we could use that to save 30% or more on their ad spend for Google ads or Facebook ads. And that's the initial product software we offer today. And then what brought me to Kansas City was my wife. 2 years ago, she got this awesome job offer to work at Overland Park Medical Center, and she works for a biotech company and supports cases in the cardiology space. And so, I followed her down here because my business is remote online, but we've really only grown since we came to Kansas City because it's such a great media presence here. Back in Metro Detroit, everything I was talking about kind of glossed over people's heads, I would say. But here, because everyone's so, invested in the media space, creative media agencies particularly, my project idea has been much better received here. So,
Connor, so you're University of Michigan graduate. So I don't know what it's like being in Big 12 country, but it seems like you love problem solving. What about you loves to problem solve?
I think that's just I guess that's a personality trait for me. It starts with curiosity. I've always been a very curious person, asked a lot of questions, mostly annoyed my parents and then my teachers because of that. I'm sure that's a common story, but really ever since ChatGPT and these LLMs came out, just because of my curiosity plus their ability to answer questions, I've been able to advance skill sets really quickly. And so anyways, long story short is I think that's kind of my curiosity, where that comes from, my problem solving. It's just the reward, the dopamine hit of solving the problem and just following the natural progression of questions that come up as I get new answers to stuff.
Right. I love that. How long did you work at Google?
For about 2 years.
And was it always remote, or did you have to live in Silicon Valley?
So Ann Arbor is where their small business headquarters are. So the vast majority of the long tail of their business is supported out of Ann Arbor. And so that's the offices I worked out of. And then COVID happened. We went remote. I eventually left during the remote period. But, I was kind of working from home in Ann Arbor. But they have a very large office there.
One last question. This just needs to be an answer one way or the other. Just a one-word answer. Chiefs or the Lions?
Tough one. I gotta say Lions. I know that's gonna get me a lot of grief all over the place, but I've been a Lions fan my whole life.
I've been an Eminem fan my whole life, so they're up there. That's pretty good.
He's from Missouri.
Awesome. No, I don't think we don't hate the Lions like that. We like them. All right, look, here is Ben is watching on LinkedIn. So let us know if you're watching on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. Take it, Scott.
Ben, hello. Shout out to Moonshot, the new organization you stepped to. So Chris, to yourself, what is the most pivotal point in your career?
So a lot of it came from, I've owned a company, the parent company, since 1999, and it dealt with on-prem server-based clients. And then over the past 5 to 6 years, every time, like we see Connor's whiteboard, every client that we were going to had a big cloud, on their whiteboard. So they were going to go to it. It was just a matter of time, when those clients, we're going to make that shift to go from on-prem or data centers to the cloud for AWS, Azure, or Google. So about 3 or 4 years ago, we started another division, FinOps Oversight, in order to help our existing customers and new customers make the migration from AWS or from on-prem or database or data centers to the cloud. And with that, we wanted to keep up our same level of service and value-added benefits that we provided. So we came up with the FinOps Oversight cloud savings analysis to provide to our clients that have a monthly spend that we talked about, over $25,000. And then with that, we're able to save clients anywhere in 2024 average was between 20 and 40% per client. So we started that program in order to provide that additional value add to our existing and new client base.
Chris, I just fell out of my chair when you gave your answer, so precise. And sometimes people are scared to say exactly what they're good at. How long did it take you to get to that point where you say, this is what my client looks like?
I mean, I've been doing it since '99. So it's been a long, it's been a building block, just building on all that stuff. And then, with the program that we have, we've got it pretty streamlined now. So we're able to, if a customer has a $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month spend, we have a pretty good idea based on that, on what we would be able to save them on a monthly and yearly basis. So, we're able, with a copy of their last month's invoice, within 24 to 48 hours, we're able to provide that immediate savings analysis back to them.
Do you ever partner with managed service companies?
We do. So based on the customer's level of expertise in the cloud, that's one of the things that we have had to concentrate on, because a lot of the people were coming from on-prem, and then, they're old people like me, and they're trying to go from on-prem to AWS and Azure or GCP, and they don't really necessarily know the best business practices, for, migrating to the cloud and utilizing the cloud for the best business practices. So we do partner with some MSPs to assist clients to ensure that they are using best business practices.
Before I bore the audience with any more acronyms, the reason why I share that is someone in the audience, Ben Fitzpatrick, is working for the fastest growing MSP in Kansas City, Moonshot. So great person to get in touch with. Connor, what about yourself? What was the most pivotal point in your career?
Most pivotal point is probably one of two things. It's kind of hard to choose one, but I'm going to start with the first one, just the opportunity that I had to work in that product role at Google. Basically getting insight into the evolving nature of the consumer privacy legislation that's going through the states and through Washington right now, and seeing firsthand how Google is preparing its most important customers to survive a cookieless future, so to speak. And so people in the marketing space will understand how dependent a lot of the advertising technologies are, and the marketing technologies are, on leveraging cookies to track customers of theirs throughout the customer journey and where they are in different parts of the process. And so understanding how, 9 out of 10 business customers, like the long tail of Google's business, wasn't being supported today, and how this need was coming, that was a really pivotal insight for me in order to leave to start my business and to build out a software for that solution. But then the other piece was moving here to Kansas City. Like I was kind of talking about before, the media, the awareness around the requirements of the media industry, specifically how the creative media industry is evolving and how that's related to the advertising industry. The fact that this industry is so strong here was, is crucial for me to get feedback on this project idea, because the local leaders have been able to pick their brains about this as I've been building it. Has been instrumental in improving, the project where it's at. Like, we're still a pre-seed stage company. We only have a couple of small customers. We're very much in an alpha testing mode right now, bootstrapping as an agency. But without being here in Kansas City, I don't think we'd have the success we're having, because most of our business customers are actually local Kansas City today. We have a few Detroit-based businesses still, but most of the business we're actually getting traction with is also here in Kansas City. So moving here was the other pivotal moment for my career, I think.
Wait, how are you meeting people if you moved here and you have an in-home business? How have you been intentional on meeting people to help grow that? Especially when you say some of the leaders in the industry. What are you doing?
Yeah. So when I moved here, I just scoured Twitter specifically for all the local orgs that I could find in the Web3 space or in the tech space. So the two orgs that I really got involved with were NFT Central, which has evolved into my relationship with this other entity called KC Futures DAO, run by Troy Carlson. And so Troy has made a lot of intros for me. He runs a local project management consulting firm. It's fairly well connected. So meeting key people like that is a big part of that. Then the other organization I got involved with was KC Digital Drive and Jim Starsiv over there. And he put me to opportunities like the Digital Sandbox grant, which I ended up getting last summer, and that opened up my network further. But I also go hang out at Keystone Collab for the sessions on Wednesdays. So it's really the culmination of all of those community groups that I've been able to meet so many people and get intros.
Yeah, you've done that fast, so that's impressive. The Twitter answer was really good. I really like that. All right, Chris. It is 2025, which I can't even believe. What are your 2025 goals, and how can the Kansas City community help you get there?
Yeah, so we're kind of reverse engineering it a little bit. I mean, our goal is actually to help all the Kansas City businesses reduce their monthly and annual cloud spend. So, I mean, we want to be a part of that. We want them to be aware of, our complimentary no charge FinOps Oversight Cloud Savings Analysis Program. And I said it's as simple as sending over a copy of your invoice for us to get that started. So with cloud spend, it varies for the different types of people within the organization that we can help. So for CEOs, CFOs, IT procurement, or CIOs or IT directors. So depending on how big the organization is, everybody's got an eye on the cloud spend, especially with cloud creep and stuff like that. So we just want to let the businesses out in Kansas City know that there is a program out there for them that is complimentary at no charge, that we can provide them a savings analysis on what we can help them save on their monthly spend. So it's not about, and we want to grow our business, and we're going to do that by providing, the value add and providing, additional value back to, the Kansas City businesses.
So you've been super successful. I mean, everyone's trying to copy you. Has it been through channel partners or reaching out directly or experience? I mean, if you had to say the one or two top magic bullets, what are they?
Yeah, so one of them has been working with Aaron at Lillian James Creative with our LinkedIn and email marketing campaigns. It's been great.
What a shout out there.
Yeah, so very happy with the results that we received from that.
Nice.
Then we, as I previously mentioned, we have a long history base, going back 20 plus years with our existing client base. And then now, that we're able to offer this complimentary program, on their spend analysis, it's pretty easy for, when you offer something and provide value and at no cost, and all they have to do is provide a copy of their last month's invoice. We've really streamlined the process so that we can show immediate savings. Then the more detailed report after we get done with the initial savings analysis, and we do the VPNs into their AWS or Azure, then we can also show the long-term strategy to reduce their cloud spend. So we show it from immediate. How can you get immediate savings, and then also control those savings long term. And so when you're able to present it like that and then not charge them for it, it's a pretty easy sell.
Yeah.
Super impressive.
Insane. People just need to know who you are. They need to see you on video more, I guess.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's very, very impressive. I have nothing to add. That's awesome.
Okay, Connor, what are your 2025 goals? Can the Kansas City community help you get there?
Absolutely. All right. So this year, 2025, Playhaus wants to release its software finally. We've been bootstrapping as an agency for 4 years, so we got to get out of startup mode and actually start up and start going. So that's happening later this month. But the main thing where I think the Kansas City community can really help us is we're part of that KC Futures DAO, which is partnered with a local nonprofit for the KC World Cup. And so in partnership with them, one of the portals that our Playhaus software is supporting or releasing is called kcsmb.com, which already exists, but it is a small business directory across the city. And part of the project is to leverage the World Cup funds that are available publicly to advertise to new arrivals in the airport, to direct them to an AI-generated itinerary maker that is built off this directory of small businesses. And then these business owners can sign up for our advertising services through that portal. So if they were to upgrade to a paid account, that would be helping Playhaus. But just signing up for a free account and participating with the nonprofit opportunity and getting exposure for your business, the only requirement is that the business is headquartered in the Kansas City metropolitan area, one of the 24 counties surrounding Kansas City, in both Kansas and Missouri. And as long as that meets those requirements, then you can have a profile on that page that will be leveraging, again, those nonprofit funds to direct traffic to. So
And there's only like, there's only a few. There's only 10 right now.
Mm-hmm. I've had to put them all manually. We really haven't advertised this to many people yet. This is still a very hush-hush initiative because my software hasn't even released yet. That's kind of why it's that state right now. But you can sign up for your profile in advance, and that website does work. It doesn't show your profile ideally yet, but we can work that out here hopefully in the next few weeks. But if you're interested in getting listed today, that form does work to upload your business.
So if you're flying in from Ann Arbor to catch a game of the World Cup, what are some of the businesses when you arrive at the airport you really wish you want to know about?
Me personally, it's probably the restaurants because I'm like, I just love food. So, but the question form we have is really tailored to get a gauge of all your different potential interests and allow you to emphasize what you want your experience to be. Do you want it to be more tailored towards the food options, or do you want it to be towards discovering local venues or local like attractions, attending like local boutiques, if shopping's kind of more your thing. It's kind of a full spectrum, cater to yourself. But I'm definitely a foodie, so that's where I'm going right off the plane.
I would say like food, and then all the like fun things you can do, like the axe throwing and some of that stuff. Riley said, removing my name as a guest in 2025. Chris and Connor have set the bar too high. This was a really good first
That's
show.
a big deal. He's a Kansas Hockey Hall of Famer right there.
Yeah, you guys are both doing some insane things. I love this local thing. We'll actually share this for local businesses on our page so you guys can sign up. I looked it up. I got that real quick. So that's really cool. That's real cool for brick and mortar.
Thank you, Aaron.
For sure. Yeah, no, I love supporting small businesses. Okay, here is the thing. What is the best way to contact with you guys? LinkedIn, is that the best way to reach out?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you can connect with both Chris and Connor on LinkedIn. We want to thank you guys so much for saying yes to being our first guest of 2025. Nobody knew what we had coming this year. So thank you so much. Thank you, Scott, for being an amazing co-host. As always, thank you, Evardy, for being an amazing sponsor. We have some insane guests lined up, including Riley, for this year. And we are
Riley.
excited to keep learning all about all of these awesome businesses. So make sure you tune in every Tuesday, 3:00. We will see you guys same time, same place next week. Go connect with Chris and Connor on LinkedIn. We'll see you soon. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.